back to the Joe Review, and this is a video basically about what could happen with Newcastle United's players from last season, what could happen in the summer, who's going to be sold, who's going to be kept, potentially loaned, released. I'm going to go position by position because I know people like to do, through the squad numbers, or just go through the goalkeepers first. They'll say this player to be sold, or this player to be kept or loaned out. I'd like to just discuss the position, who could stay, and because a lot of players, like, if you want to keep them or sell them, it might depend on if another player wants to stick around. But we'll get into it now. Goalkeepers, Nick Pope will obviously stay. I think he's the only one that's certain, really. Mark Gillespie and Dan Langley come to the end of their contracts. I would let them go. So that leaves Dubravka, Darlow and Karius. Darlow did alright on loan. We need to get rid of at least one of them. Darlow did alright on loan at Hull last year. You'd think that'd be interesting in the championship, in him from the championship clubs. He should be looking to move on for the sake of his career. He's 32. So hopefully we'll get a good offer for him and let him go. Don't get me wrong, being an alright squad player for us, but I think he should be looking to move on. But then, obviously, it could depend on if Dubravka and Karius are going to stick around and be, happy to be number 2, number 3 personally. Will Dubravka want to stay? Eddie Howe wants to keep him. I'd like to keep him if he wants to be number 2, but if he wants to go, then he can go. For me, similar with Karius. He did alright in the cup final, but if he wants to go to Italy because it's his last, he's expecting a baby, then fair enough. I imagine his stock will be higher after the cup final, playing well in that game. In terms of Dubravka, he played against Liverpool. He played well in that game, but fans weren't, chanting, "Oh, Martin Dubravka," like they would have done before last summer. And, Darlow. Say it was Darlow that had been keeping him out the side after he got an injury, and then he got sent off in that game. But we'll move on to the defenders. Kieran Trippier, Sven Botman, Fabian Schär, Dan Burn, Matt Targett. Definitely keep all of them. Kraft as well as a squad player. It's just a shame he got that bad injury against Tranmere in the Carabao Cup early on the season. We've not been able to see him in action. It's a big pre-season for him. I don't think anyone's going to come in for him. But I would happily keep him as a squad player. Paul Dummett. No, I would usually have said let him go. I didn't agree with giving him a contract last summer, but UEFA rules say you've got to have at least 4 club-trained players in your squad. Otherwise, your squad size gets reduced. Now, we've only got Dummett and Sean Longstaff for this. I mean, apart from players who, Langley and Matty Longstaff, who are going to be out the door, you'd think, and players like Anderson who don't have to be registered for the squad. So Dummett, I'll just keep him for a year just to help with that, squad thing. But I wouldn't be surprised if we're linked with, players like Tim Krul to help us with the club train thing and quota. I've seen his link with Fraser Forster. I don't know if he'd fit that because he's obviously from Hexham and he was in the academy for long enough. But the problem is, I think he got loaned out. He had 3 different loan spells at EFL clubs. I think he only allowed 1. Jamal Lascelles, I'm alright to keep him as a squad player. He did alright against Manchester City. Question is, will he want to stick around? He's got a year left on his contract. Or will he want a new challenge? Jamal Lewis, he needs to move on for the sake of his career. I was excited when we signed him, but just hasn't worked out. I thought playing under Steve Bruce's, made him a worse player. He did alright actually under Eddie Howe when he first came in, but he got left out of the squad. He was shocked against Sheffield Wednesday when he came in. He didn't do that well against Tranmere either. Jamal Lewis, I think it's time. He's 25, and I think he needs to move on for the sake of his career. Mankio, he's been a good servant, but he's another one who I'd be looking to move on. He potentially probably just stuck around just to help with cover with Kraft getting his injury. But, Vashi, if he's going to come into the squad, because he needs to be registered for next season, Mankio will... I know he can play left back as well, but... and he did alright against Leeds last season when we won 1-0 down there. When he came on at left back for Paul Dummett. But Mankio, I think, time to move him on. He's got a year left on his contract anyway. Dan Burn, I think... I'd more have him as a centre-back, as a squad player there. And then potentially he can come in, for one of Shah or Botman. I think he fits... I do think he fits the system better than Jamal Lascelles does. He's alright at left-back, but I think it's time to move him back to centre-back. And then getting, a new left-back, potentially. So, looking at midfielders, Joe Linton, Gordon, Murphy, Almiron, Longstaff, Anderson, Bruno, definitely keep them. People saying we should loan out Elliot Anderson. I think keep him unless we're going to sign plenty of midfielders. I would definitely be keeping Anderson because of the extra games we're going to be playing, and he doesn't have to be registered in the squad. Joe Willock's another one who definitely should be keeping. ASM, brilliant on his day. You've seen him against Man United at home, Man City at home, even Liverpool when we lost that game. But fact is, he only scored 1 goal last season. I mean, I just don't understand how his stats have gone down under Eddie Howe compared to Steve Bruce. He was playing better under Steve Bruce. I just don't get it. ASM, I would keep him probably, but I'd be happy to let him go if we get a good offer for him and we can replace him. Matt Ritchie, I think it's time for him to move on, unless we want to maybe keep him as a coach, because there is talks and maybe he's a 1-year deal, have him as a player coach. He's done coaching with the academy, but you'd think he'd be looking to move on. Ryan Fraser, time to get rid of him. Eddie Howe is falling out with him, and if he's managing for the under 21s, definitely need to move him on. Murphy, people were writing him off at the start of the season, but do you know what? He's done more than a lot more than Ryan Fraser, and the fact is he got 2 more goals, surprisingly, in the first 10 minutes against Tottenham than ASM's done all season. Murphy, I'll keep him. Squad player. Almiron hasn't hit the heights of October, but definitely keep him. Matty Longstaff is a player I'll be looking to move on. His contract's come to an end. He's obviously got that horrible injury against Colchester, where he was playing for Colchester on loan. I did see him at the training ground last week. Said his recovery's going slowly. He's obviously going to keep getting treatment at the training ground, but he will leave the club, and hopefully he'll get a move to an EFL club, because I'm sure there'll be clubs happy to take him on on a free. Lewis Smiley, I think probably a low move could be good for him, because he did alright against Chelsea when he came on, hit the bar. That later on, that could have been a dream debut win for him. But a low move would probably be good for him. If we're looking at forwards, Wilson, Isak, definitely keep the pair of them. There's talks of a new contract for Wilson because he's got a year left. He's got to be, keep him fit, and if we can see the form we've seen from him at the end of last season, then I don't see why not. but he is 31, so you probably think 1 year extension, because at some point, because he is getting on. Now we'll look. Kieran Clark, Jeff Hendrick, Isaac Hayden, they've all been out on loan. Get rid of them all. I mean, Clark's contract's coming to an end, so he will definitely be on his way out the club. Hayden and Hendrick, we might struggle to get rid of them, but the good news is Hendrick, he's got a year left in his deal, so another season long loan, and we'll practically got him off the wages. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we did just decide to terminate his contract either this window or the January window. And Chris Woods obviously joined Nottingham Forest because of that obligation to buy. They've met those conditions. But that's practically all the players within the squad, and some that have went out on loan. I think Kowal got on loan again because he didn't play enough games at Hearts. But that's pretty much all I've got to say. Don't forget to hit like on the video, subscribe to my channel, check out my social media pages in the description below. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it, and hopefully we'll get you some. I'll get some videos as players we'll have more transfer activity, and I'll see you later.